Hey everyone, Knock the Hero here. Today I am playing Beacon Pines. This was recommended to me by another viewer. If you have any other recommendations for games you'd like to see on this channel, feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's do Chapter 4 again.
The best policy.
The best policy.
Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess.
Yeah, that's pretty bad of you.
Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? And why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling. But this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in Wheatwood yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was in there in a strange suit. And we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. And it's all my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to that little tree house you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Alright, wait at the treehouse in case Rollo shows up. Interesting.
Mr. Nuncree jumped with a start.
Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who were you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. The whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rollo knows those woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried. Antics? We all know Rollo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him, I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncree gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there's something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncree. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
There was a blank lurking behind those eyes? Shame?
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help.
Did he see him last night? What's the big deal? Yesterday, Rollo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you. You were with Rollo when he went missing. Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around. Then someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage, I think. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
He was in on it? He was in on it?
Glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end.
Another the end? What?
Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
Okay. I don't have the right amount of stuff for that, so I guess I gotta go back this way. This story is about struggle.
This is a story about struggle. Luca could hear a machine humming somewhere nearby. He felt around wildly, searching for something, anything that could help. His hands found a hard object, maybe a tile? He yanked it free, lifting the cold stone. Let me go! Luca swung the tile as hard as he could at the shape that still held fast to his leg. He heard the crack of glass as the stone hit the assailant's mask.
Oh man.
With a muffled yelp, the hand let go. Luca was free and scrambled to the door. He never looked back once on the long run home. Chapter 3.
We're back to chapter 3 now? Again? Well then. Chapter 3 again.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
I remember this. Feels like it wasn't that long ago. I finished jarring a mess of jam last night. Uh-huh. So that'll need to get delivered into town today. Okay. So what did you and Rollo get up to yesterday? Oh, Rollo had things to do, so I just sort of poked around town. I've set the jam down by the front door. There's 2 batches to drop off. One for Mr. Tolliver at the Bag and Wag. And another for Mrs. Fratelli at the diner. Ooh, the diner. We haven't been there yet. Oh, and Mr. Nuncreed. He said he wanted some more. I suspected as much. Yes, he seems to have taken a particular interest in my jam. There are some extras in the basket for that enthusiastic gentleman. Just make sure Fratelli and Tulliver get the ones on top. No problem. Off with you now while the day is still young. Alright, we're doing deliveries now, I guess. What is she doing? What are you doing? What you doing? Oh, it's the phone. Hello, it's Juniper Hartford. Before you hang up, just hear me out. I have a business proposition. The simple matter is we both have the same problem that needs solving. Very well, we can meet tonight. What is Grandma up to? Like, I'm not sure I understand what Grandma's up to. Okay, sorry about yesterday. Roxy can be so annoying. But good news, no more boring chores for me today. Did you make it to the old Valentine warehouse? So, what did you find? Give me the dirt. Something happened. There was someone else there. What? Who was it? Was it aliens? I knew it would be aliens. No. Zombies? No. Alien zombies? What else could it possibly be? Rolo, I've got to deliver these into town first. We can catch up after. Ooh, is it a whole thing? Sounds like a whole thing. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about it here. Meet me at the tree house tonight. I'm not sure what this tree house is that you speak of. Meet me at Mission Control. Roger that, Space Cadet. Okay, we gotta do our own chores today. Rolo had to do his chores yesterday. I haven't been down this way.
The road leading to Beacon Pines was long and uninspiring. A sort of natural barrier for the impatient.
I see. Don't know what this means. Wait, watch your step. Oh, sorry. There was a whole family of beetles here. They've gone missing. I thought they just sort of wandered around. Everyone has a home, Luca. Even beetles.
Luca checked the soles of his sandals.
I think we're okay. It's weird that they're gone. They went missing when the festival preparations began. You think the noise scared them away? Something like that. Just watch where you step, okay? Heh. So I think this way? Have I gone into the coffee shop? Anger from the past, mistakes not yet made, and a glimmering hope for the future. He carried them all in equal parts everywhere he went. Oh heavens, what a burden to bear. Okay. So we want to make sure we go to that guy last. Okay. Mr. Wilder, I trust you have time to chat.
Miss Valentine, oldest of Sharper Valentine's children, and heir to the Valentine fortune, had a way of making questions seem like demands.
Certainly. What seems to be the problem?
Mr. Wilder had learned to assume that if he was hearing from Eris, it was because she had taken issue with something he had put in the paper.
I couldn't help but notice that the front page of this morning's paper was consumed with stories about the silly festival. Well, yes, that is the news of the day. But there was no mention of the museum, nor the foundation through which it was endowed. I'm sorry, Miss Valentine. My readers are more so interested in this town's future, rather than any one family in particular. There was a time, Mr. Wilder, when the goings-on of my family was the only thing this town cared about. Well, things change, ma'am. And you know change is dangerous. If you finish that thought, I will make that monocle a permanent fixture of your anatomy. My apologies. Good day, Miss Valentine. Did I give you the impression this conversation was finished?
Mr. Wilder averted his gaze and began to polish his monocle.
Well, good day, Mr. Wilder. Well then. Last Chance Diner. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Luca, what's up?
Dawn had dreams of becoming a big-time reporter. At night, she searched for the story that could be her big break. By day, she hawked papers at the newsstand.
Oh, they got you on jam delivery, eh? Yep. Hey, Dawn, have you noticed anything weird around town lately? What sort of weird things? Stuff going on at the old Valentine building? You might say I've heard some things. I'm working on a story about it right now. So what's going on? Can't say quite yet. I still need to follow up on a few leads. Keep me in the loop, okay? Sure thing. Have you seen the new kid around yet? New kid? Yeah, came in from the big city. Her parents both got jobs here. But get this, one of them is working for William Kerr and Perennial Harvest. And the other is working for Eris Valentine. And the Valentines represent Beacon Pines' past. Perennial Harvest has positioned itself as this town's future. Must make for some interesting dinner table conversations. I can imagine. She has a point. I don't really think I've been in this area. Well, I'm not really finding much of anything, I guess. Well, if it isn't my favorite little jam runner. Hey, Mrs. Fratelli. Look at you.
Forward and pinched Luca's cheek.
You're all skin and bones. Is your grand not feeding you? She is, it's just... I understand. You know, I taught your mama how to cook back in the day. You may not even remember, but you and her used to help out in the diner. See that picture over there? That's you helping your mama back in the day. So cute running around in your little apron taking orders. The whole situation just breaks my heart. What happened with Eleanor? Break. I got a feeling she's out there somewhere yearning to be with you again. Few things in this world can keep a mother from her son.
Luca shifted the basket uncomfortably.
Oh yes, let's see here.
Mrs. Fratelli lifted the cloth and inspected the jam.
They even have my name on them. How thoughtful.
She carefully lifted out her jars of jam.
You tell your grand hello for me, Luca. Will do.
Luca squinted at the faded photo of him and his mom at the diner. Memories of that day came flooding back.
Dang, it's happened. I'm ready to help, Mama. Alright, little buckaroo. It's up to us to feed these folks while Mrs. Fratelli is away. I've got to deal with the inventory before I can start cooking. Do you think you can handle taking some orders in the meantime? Yes, Mama. Hiya, Roxy. Luca? I'm helping. Wow, hopefully your work ethic will rub off on Rolo. What can I get you? Not really feeling like a burger. How about a chicken sandwich with bacon on top? Coming right up. Oh, do I have to make the food too? Succulent. That's not what I ordered. I wanted chicken and bacon. Oh, whoops. I messed up. At least I can fix it, right? Here you go. I call it the Love Me Tenders. Nice. Okay, I guess I better pay attention this time. Gadzooks, they've shrunk the waitstaff.
Jeff slapped the table and gave Luca a toothy grin.
How's your pops doing? He's been pretty busy these days. I know the feeling. Tell him that fishing rod he ordered should be ready next week, will ya? Sure thing. I've been in the mood for something sweet. You got a burger that can satisfy a sweet tooth? A sweet burger? Yeah, and top it off with some grilled cactus. Grilled cactus? The hard ones? What it wants? Okay, candy and cactus. Some weirdness. Nope. No, I did the thing. Here's your order. I call it the sweet and stabby. Ha, now that's a burger with a bite. Aren't you a little young to be waiting tables? I'm just helping out. My father had me hustling when I was your age as well. Father always says, children are to be sails pulling a family ever forward. That doesn't sound very fun. There's plenty of time for fun. For instance, Father and I always make time to have lunch together once a month.
Luca glanced at the empty seat across from Gus.
Should I come back? Oh no, it turns out Father was too busy to have lunch today. I'll just go ahead and eat alone. Oh. The silver lining is without him around, I can have my usual. A nice stack of cold cuts topped with a pile of sloppy chili. What? I don't have chili. No, I do have chili. Here you are. Cold cuts with steaming hot chili on top. I call it the hot and cold. That's perfect, thank you. Looks like we're missing a few things. Why don't you run out and grab some more ingredients? Okay, I'll be right back. It could just be... If I could just... Oh my god. If I could just be left alone, young Mr. Van Horn. Oh, sure. Sorry to bother you. It's just that... Mr. Kerr has asked me to make the opening speech at the festival. Being mayor and all, you might expect me to be a charismatic speaker. The truth is, I'm terribly nervous. I really don't think I'm cut out for this sort of thing. Cut out for being mayor or for public speaking? Both, I suppose. I never really chose any of this. It's more of a duty to my family. For our legacy. That sounds like a heavy burden. As for the festival, just speak from your heart. I'm sure it'll be great. Okay. I think Mr. Tolliver is... Did I go down here? Oh yeah. Wait. Here he is.
Huddled at his counter, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining apples. More accurately, Hiram Tolliver was meticulously shining one apple.
Hello? Yep.
With a yelp, Mr. Tolliver fumbled the apple, flailing at the air as it fell.
Oh, sorry. No bother, no bother.
He leaned forward and lowered his voice.
I see you have something for me. Yeah, Gran had some jam I'm supposed to give
He
you.
leaned in a bit further.
Jam? Yeah, these ones on top. She wrote your name on them.
Mr. Tolliver leaned back, speaking loud enough for anyone to hear.
Ah, yes. The gem! Thank you so much for delivering this gem to
He
me.
reached forward and snapped up the jars of jam, giving Luca a little wink.
I shall put it on my store shelves post-haste. Okay, I should finish my deliveries. Of course. Of course.
He leaned in for a final whisper.
Of course. Okay. How do you keep the ice cream cold? We keep them on ice? Where do you get the ice from? I don't know, somewhere cold. How do they keep somewhere cold? Look, Bert, do you want some ice cream or not? No, I'm good. I don't know if I should have gone in here. Sharper Valentine, a celebration of excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots.
Of
And
course.
that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Sharper Valentine.
Oh man.
Sharper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here in Beacon Pines. And how
Yeah,
does one
lucky.
grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck. A scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Sharper away from us far too soon.
Whoa,
To this
like
day,
he
we
died from
struggle
it?
to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Sharper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
Do people actually donate to that remembrance fund? That was unhelpful. Well, I didn't know that, you know, the one, or the, what was it, the foul harvest? Didn't know that that actually resulted in his death or something? Am I understanding that right? I didn't think this was, like, a new town. I don't know. Got some jam for you, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, you seem chipper. Well, aside from being on delivery duty, it's a nice day.
Mr. Nuncreed eyed Luca for a moment, then nodded in agreement.
I suppose it is. So, do you want your jam? Oh, right. Usually Juniper drops those off herself. I guess she's busy today. Anyway, this is my last delivery for the day. Oh, in that case,
Nuncreed snatched the basket from Luca.
I'll hold on to the basket until the next time I see your grin. Wow, that's rude. Hey, you. Anchovies or pineapple? What? Don't think. Just answer. Pineapple? Why? How old are you? 12. Perfect, follow me. Who are you? Anyone ever tell ya you ask too many questions? Just try to keep up, okay? What just happened? Well... Hey, what a crazy coincidence. Here's my new friend I was just telling you about. Oh, that's wonderful. Yep, we just hit it off. Oh, really? Get this, his favorite pizza topping in the whole world is pineapple. Oh, then what is your new little friend's name?
Beck locked eyes with Luca. The look on her face was equal parts expectant and desperate.
Luca Van Horn, nice to meet you. I'm Nellie, and this is Alana? Yeah, there we go. We're Beck's parents.
Beck gave Luca a quick nudge.
Oh yeah, Beck told me all about you. Already feels like we've known each other for years. So you both can stop obsessing about me making friends. Oh, darling, we never doubted you. It's just that for children with fewer than 5 close friends, the probability of a stunted development doubles. Well, 1 down, 4 to go, I guess. What Nellie means is that we just want this move to be as easy on you as possible. You can relax. A friend has been friended. This calls for a celebration. Luca, you must join us for dinner tonight. Dinner? Wow, another coincidence. I actually already asked him and he said he would love to. It's just wonderful. In that case, we should pick up some groceries. You two don't get into too much trouble now. Welp. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Thanks a ton. You're welcome. I owe you one. My moms are great and all, but they can be a bit much sometimes. Our house is a little cottage next to that big mansion place. Wait, you live on the Valentine estate? Yeah, that's the spot. Meet me by their big creepy gate. Don't be late. Or I'm back to square one on this whole friend grift. Great, see you there. Welp. Meet back at the big creepy gate. Good morning, Jeff. What's so good about it? Any day further down the tubes, if you ask me. Oops, another day. Come on now, it's not all bad. The festival's coming up. The festival. Old man Valentine used to put on cockamamie shindigs all the time. And where did that get us? Well, it's Perennial Harvest putting on this one. And they're doing it for the whole town. As far as I see it, the difference between the old Valentine Company and this new Perennial Harvest outfit
Jeff dug through his pockets for a bit.
is the difference between this empty soup can and this brown banana. Both of those are garbage. Exactly. Okay. Someone has some feelings. Do not go into the woods this time. So, who all lives in that house? Eris and Gus Valentine grew up there. And Solomon moved in a few years back. The creepy little kid in the vest? That sounds like the one. So just 3 people live in that huge thing? I bet a bunch of shady stuff happens all the time in a place like that. Not really. The Valentines pretty much keep to themselves. So it's empty and boring? Pretty much. What a waste. My mom says that it used to be way busier back before Sharper died. Before the fowl harvest. Okay, that's like the 5th time someone mentioned this fowl harvest thing, and you all use that same ominous tone. Eventually you're going to explain to me how that harvest got all fouled up. But we can't keep my parents waiting anymore. This way... Most kids would have just ditched me by this point. Why are you still here? You look like you could use some help. You know what, Luca? You're not so bad. Let's get through this as simply as possible. Just eat, smile, and nod. Fun. Great, whatever you do, don't bring up their work. I think I can handle that.
Buck took a long breath, then gave a firm nod.
Here goes nothing.
Chapter 4.
Alright, this is like the 3rd chapter 4, so let's see what happens.
Dinner with the Moedwils.
Dinner with the Moedwils? What'd she say?
Moedwill was worried about change. A gardener at heart, she understood the necessity of change, relied on it even. But there was a difference between the controlled world of her plants and this cluttered cottage in a strange town. Almost done. Nellie was a blur of activity, digging through boxes. Sorry, love. Couldn't find the dishes. We'll have to make do with paper plates.
Oh man, paper plates.
Dinner went by without much conversation. As she watched Beck and Luca finish up their pizza, Ilona let herself relax into the chair. The things she cared about were still here. Nellie finally had the job of her dreams. Beck was beginning to take root. Ilona's task was simply to tend to them. She could do that.
So, Luca, tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you live? Oh, I live with my grandma. Over on the other side of the river? Your grandma? Where are your parents at? Beck, manners? It's alright. My dad passed away in an accident at the fertilizer plant 6 years back. Oh dear. My mom's been missing for a few months now. Like, missing?
Luca's eyes were fixed to his plate, pushing a chunk of pineapple around with his finger. Nellie was the one who eventually broke the silence.
Luca, how did you like the pizza? Oh, it was good. Very good. Normally we'd put more effort into dinner.
Ilona nervously gestured toward the boxes.
We aren't fully settled back in, and Beck has mentioned that it's your favorite. I'm sorry, are we just skipping the part where he said his mom was missing? Beck! I'm sorry, Luca, this move has us all a little tired.
Luca wiped his face with his sleeve.
No, it's fine. So, Beck said that you moved here for work?
Beck gave Luca a swift kick under the table.
Ow. I mean, what brought you to Beacon Pines? Oh, you were right the first time. We're here for work. Nellie won't tell you this, but she's a brilliant chemist. I don't know about brilliant, but I do love it. She's brilliant. Perennial Harvest just made her their newest lead researcher of deep engineering. She makes it sound more impressive than it is. I'm just happy that I get to make a difference in the world. Perennial Harvest is at the forefront of evolving agriculture into something more useful than sprinkling water and excrement on the ground.
Luca glanced over to Beck. She seemed to be holding her breath.
What Nellie means, Luca, is that there are different ways to grow plants. Yes, some people talk of their plants and hope for the best. And some people happily leave their job to allow a loved one to pursue their dream. You swore you didn't.
Beck slammed her fist into the table. Perhaps harder than she intended.
Hey Luca, how about some dessert? I actually have to meet my friend Rollo
Luca
soon.
glanced outside to gauge the time. The sky was darker than he expected, filled with ominous clouds.
Looks like there's a storm brewing. I should get going. Oh, I didn't think there was any rain in the almanac. Yeah, almanacs aren't that useful around here.
Luca wiped his mouth one last time with his napkin and started to get up.
Thank you all for the pizza, it was really good. See you at the festival, Beck. Wait up. I'll walk you home.
Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people. But Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble, break. Kind of weird that this is a turning
The sky
point.
answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold. Luca and Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Meet my guest.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You'd think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Oh wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
One of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. One thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something, anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know, something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Bruh.
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca, don't let don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5.
Oh, finally, we're not going to like 3 or 4 again. We're going to chapter 5. Did we ever make it to chapter 5? I guess we'll see where the next one takes us.